Are you feeling overwhelmed with your business and drowning in tasks? Let me tell you how to use ChatGPT and AI like a personal assistant to get organised, save hours a day, and finally feel on top of everything. Keep watching because this could seriously change how you work. Now, before we get started, can I ask one small favour? If you like what I do here, can you please hit the subscribe button? That keeps me energised to bring you more content. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. Let's get started with tip number 1, which is to use ChatGPT to organise your day like a CEO. Now let me give you a new way to look at your daily planning. Your to-do list isn't broken because it's messy. It's broken because it's not very well prioritised. You can ask ChatGPT to take your tasks and then arrange them by high energy order or order of the most importance. This is what I had one of my clients, Sarah, do. She went from feeling very stuck by noon every day to actually finishing her most important tasks by 2 p.m. just by getting ChatGPT to build her a much smarter routine. Now, I would suggest that you stop trying to guess your schedule every single morning, and instead here's what you can do. You can open ChatGPT and then say something like, here's what's on my plate today, give it your agenda, then tell me how would a top performer plan this. Just put that simple prompt into ChatGPT and it'll give you a layout that works with your brain and not against it. Now, most people waste about 40% of their energy just figuring out what to do next. So I recommend you stop doing that from now on. Now, if you feel like your day is pure chaos, then you're not alone. Many other people have the same issue. The problem isn't you, it's the fact that your brain isn't really built to juggle 20 different things at once. That's where ChatGPT and AI can really help. Now, you can literally say something along the lines of, help me focus, and it will break down the big goals into mini tasks that don't feel very overwhelming. That micro shift alone changed everything for Jake, one of my students, who used to freeze every time he opened his project board. The key thing here is energy management. Now, I would recommend you tell ChatGPT when your energy tends to peak and when it tends to drop. You can ask it to build your schedule around you and not some generic 9-to-5 model. It's wild how productive you'll feel when your toughest task happens when you're most alert. Now, most calendars don't really do that, but ChatGPT really can. Now, here's a counterintuitive idea. You can schedule in your rest time first. I know it sounds a little bit backwards, but if you tell ChatGPT to protect your lunch, your walk breaks, or even a 30-minute recharge slot, you'll actually get more done. So I recommend you actually try this. Now, one client of mine, Mo, went from burnout to building a 5-day content batch system that left him free by Friday noon, all because he finally prioritized his energy, his important tasks, and not just the output. Now, if your brain feels like a tornado first thing in the morning, then I recommend you do this. I recommend you sit down, open ChatGPT, and then say something like, let's do a brain dump. Then ask it to organise your chaos. You'll walk away with some clarity instead of anxiety. Now, that's what turned my own morning routine from stress fueled into something that I actually enjoy more. So don't forget to use ChatGPT as your daily check-in partner. You can literally say something like, hold me accountable to do this by 3 p.m. That small ask helped one of my clients, Alicia, go from constantly rescheduling her goals to actually finishing them. The accountability doesn't need to come from a coach, it can actually come from the assistant that you actually train. Now, I have put together some free training resources to help you build an online income source using AI. Go and click the link below in the description to find out more. Now back to the video. Let's now move on to tip number 2, which is to let ChatGPT handle your emails and your messages. Now, many business owners waste 1 to 3 hours every day just thinking about how to reply to different emails. Here's what you can do instead. You can paste your email into ChatGPT and then just ask it to draft a clear, professional response in your tone. Now, one of my clients, Darren, cut his inbox time from 90 minutes to 15 minutes a day. That's not hype, it's what happens when you stop overthinking and start delegating it to AI. Now, you know those long threads that drain your will to live. Ask ChatGPT to summarize the key points. So you can just say something like, just give me the facts, the deadlines, and anything I need to act on, and you'll never waste time rereading threads again. This alone helped a VA that I worked with get back 6 hours a week. Now, if you want to sound more confident in your writing, I would suggest that you ask ChatGPT to rephrase your messages using more assertive language. A lot of business owners sound very unsure in emails without realizing it, especially when they are pitching or negotiating. ChatGPT can fix that with just one prompt. It's like having a copy coach in your back pocket. So here's something that nobody talks about. Many people sound way too formal in their messages. So you can just ask ChatGPT to adjust the tone to be warm, to be friendly, or even slightly playful. And the result is people will actually care more and actually reply. Now, one of my students, Emily, started using more human sounding replies and actually saw her cold outreach get double the response rates. So I would recommend you build a message bank inside ChatGPT. Just save the templates for things like client follow-ups, onboarding, or even payment reminders. That way you're not rewriting the same email every week. It's a 20-minute setup that saves you years of mental fatigue. Now, don't forget to use ChatGPT for grammar and polish as well. It's not just about typos, it's all about helping you to get things right. Clients will judge your attention to detail based on how your messages actually sound. So you can just ask ChatGPT, make this sound more clear and more confident, and you'll immediately feel more credible. Now, here's a simple mindset shift. Your inbox is not your to-do list. Your inbox is everyone else's agenda. So you can use ChatGPT to process it fast, pull out the stuff that actually matters, and then just simply leave the rest. This one shift helped Daniel, a busy founder, go from checking email 12 times a day to just once every afternoon with zero drop in results. Let's now move on to tip number 3, which is to use ChatGPT to manage projects and deadlines. Now, one of the biggest things in productivity is to just break it up into small tasks. Now, most people don't know how to do that, but ChatGPT really does. You can literally say to ChatGPT, help me break this launch into weekly chunks, and you'll get a timeline that makes good sense. I helped one client go from snipping on a webinar idea for 3 weeks to actually launching it in 10 days flat using this exact approach. Now, I suggest that you treat ChatGPT like a project strategist, so you can give it the outcome that you want and then give it your timeline. You'll get a step-by-step plan that feels more doable. Not only that, it'll also adjust based on how much time you actually have and not some imaginary perfect week. That's a game changer for business owners juggling kids, clients, and a lot of chaos. Now, the thing that you really want to avoid is the shiny object syndrome, jumping between unfinished tasks. ChatGPT can build you a checklist that keeps you on track and then tells you what to do next. That's how my student Jen finally finished her online course after 6 months of working on it. She just needed a simple message to follow. Now, if your team is remote or disorganized, then you can use ChatGPT to actually prepare updates in plain language. You can say to it, summarize this week's wins, the tasks, and the blockers in a Slack message, so there is no more clunky reports. Now, one of my consulting clients now uses ChatGPT to actually create Friday wrap-ups that actually get read and they get acted on. Now, a smart way for you to report to clients is to ask ChatGPT to format your project updates into easy to skim reports and make it give it bullet points, and it'll make it sound more professional. Now, one virtual assistant that I coached landed 2 more clients just because the reports looked so much more polished and much more clear. So perception really does create opportunity. To help you reflect and improve, you can ask ChatGPT every Friday something along the lines of, what worked, what didn't, and what do I change next week? And you'll start to see patterns that you were blind to before. It's not just about tasks, it's about getting smarter every week. That's how you create compound growth, not just busy work. So don't forget that most people are trying to manage projects in their head. That's a recipe for a lot of stress. You can actually free up your brain by dumping all the ideas into ChatGPT and then just letting it organise, prioritise and sort them into a decent order. Now, one founder I know cut his overwhelm in half by doing a 10-minute idea sort every Monday morning. Let's now move on to tip number 4, which is to use ChatGPT to learn faster and make smarter decisions. If your YouTube history is 90% how-to videos that you never finish, then you can try this instead. Ask ChatGPT to explain a concept in simple 5th grade language. You'll learn faster and probably retain more. Now, one of my clients learned the basics of SEO in 15 minutes this way, after struggling with it for a few months. So you can use ChatGPT like a decision coach. You can just say something like, I'm stuck between A and B, what are the risks, the pros and the red flags? And it won't replace your gut, but it gives you clear thinking very fast. I suggest this whenever you feel stuck in analysis paralysis. You see, clarity creates momentum. Now here's a belief that is worth challenging. You need to learn everything yourself. This isn't necessarily the case. You need to understand enough to delegate really well. You can ask ChatGPT to help you create an SOP or outline for your next hire or contractor. This helped one of my students finally get out of editing her own podcasts. I recommend using ChatGPT to actually rehearse real-world conversations like sales calls, pricing objections, or even investor pitches. You'll feel more confident because you've practiced the hard parts ahead of time. Now, one founder that I worked with doubled his closing rate just by using ChatGPT as a role-playing partner. So if your business decisions are always driven by emotions or stress, then just ask ChatGPT to give you the logical version. You can say something like, what would a calm, data-driven CEO do here? That framing alone helped one of my students, Lila, stop sabotaging her launches and start planning much smarter. The key thing here is applying what you learned. After reading a blog or watching a video, then just ask ChatGPT, summarize this and tell me 3 ways to actually implement it this week. You'll go from consuming to creating results much faster. So don't forget that learning is a daily practice, not a course that you necessarily finish. You can use ChatGPT for a 5-minute learning ritual every single morning. Just ask it, teach me something useful today about, then insert your niche. Now, one of my private clients built an entire business around this one habit, and she's now booked out 3 months in advance. Let me now give you tip number 5, which is to use ChatGPT to reclaim your time and stop doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Now, one of the biggest traps I see business owners fall into is doing everything themselves just because they actually can. That mindset will actually keep you stuck in busy work and really block real growth. I suggest that you open ChatGPT and you just ask, what tasks am I doing that could be automated, delegated, or even simplified? You'll be shocked at how many things you're holding onto out of habit. Now, one of my students, Jamie, realised he was spending 10 hours a week just writing content that he could have easily outsourced or templated with AI. So he used ChatGPT to build a repeatable system and freed up enough time so he could finally launch his group coaching program. Now, if you're constantly saying, I just don't have time, then you're probably saying yes to things that don't actually move the needle. You can ask ChatGPT to help you create a stop doing list based on your goals. I helped a business owner named Lena use this to cut her work week by 12 hours just by identifying which tasks brought the least ROI. She thought she needed to hustle more, but what she actually needed was more clarity, and ChatGPT gave her the outside perspective to actually see it. Now, here's something most productivity advice gets completely wrong. They tell you to manage your time when what you really need to manage is your attention and your activities. I recommend that you ask ChatGPT to create a deep work map based on your priorities. For example, I had a coaching client, Ray, use ChatGPT to block his week by mental energy zones and not just tasks. So once he started working with his brain instead of against it, his client delivery dropped by 40% and he finally had some evenings off. Now, the key thing that most people don't realise is that ChatGPT isn't just a tool, it's actually real good leverage. You can use it to build some smart automated systems that work 24/7 and that replace repetitive thinking. Things like social media captions, meeting notes, onboarding email sequences, and content outlines. You should not be touching those from scratch every time. I helped one online coach, Denise, create an AI-powered SOP for her entire content process. She now batch creates 4 weeks of content in just one morning a month, and she actually enjoys the process. Now, don't forget that clarity is your greatest time saver. If you're waking up wondering what to do, then you've already lost half the day. I suggest you open ChatGPT first thing and say, here's what I'm working towards, what should I focus on today to make some real progress. Now, one of my clients, Ahmed, started doing this on a daily basis, and he said it felt like going from fog to laser focus. He used to feel like every day was just too random. Now he feels like every day has a real purpose. Now here's a controversial take. Many business owners are addicted to feeling busy because it feels more productive, even when it's not. Now, if you constantly default to tasks that are easy but low value, and that's a sign. Use ChatGPT to rank your tasks by the impact and the importance and not the effort. Now, one of my private clients, Nina, discovered she was spending more time editing her graphics than actually working on sales. And within just 2 weeks of reprioritizing with ChatGPT's help, she landed her first 5-figure client because she finally had time to follow up and actually pitch. Now, if your calendar looks full but your goals still feel far away, I suggest that you use ChatGPT to do a time audit. Just tell it what your last 3 days actually look like and ask it to identify some patterns and some time leaks. I did this with one business owner, Mark, who was convinced that he didn't have time to hire a VA. Turns out he was wasting 6+ hours a week on low priority Slack conversations. So he used ChatGPT to draft some SOPs for his new VA in a weekend and bought back those hours that he lost instantly. Let's now move on to tip number 6, which is to use ChatGPT to create high value content that builds trust and attracts the right clients. The thing that holds a lot of people back from creating content is the belief that it has to be perfect. But your audience isn't looking for perfection. They're looking for clarity, connection, relevance, and consistency. Now, I recommend that you use ChatGPT to turn your key ideas into a month's worth of content in just under an hour. One of my students, Ravi, was stuck posting random things once or twice a week. So once we mapped out his main offers and plugged his audience's pain points and struggles into ChatGPT, he started posting 5 times a week and landed 3 coaching clients in just 21 days. Now, if you're sitting at your laptop trying to come up with something to say, then you're doing content the hard way. I suggest that you build a content bank inside Notion or Google Sheets using ChatGPT. You can start by giving ChatGPT a list of your audience's top struggles and then just ask it to generate 30 angles, some hooks, or some post ideas. Now, my client Sophia did this, and she said it felt like having a personal copywriter in her pocket. She stopped overthinking and finally found her authentic voice. Now, don't forget that your content should speak directly to your dream clients, not just impress your peers. The mistake I see a lot of people make is creating content that sounds smart but doesn't actually solve any problems or any pain points. I had a student named Jordan who shifted from thought leadership fluff to problem-solving content using ChatGPT. He literally told ChatGPT, write a LinkedIn post that helps freelancers and business owners attract better clients by avoiding scope creep, and it exploded. That one post got him 2 inbound leads that same week. Now, a smart way for you to stand out online is to embed real client stories into your content. Most people avoid this because they don't know how to structure it well. You can tell ChatGPT, turn this win from my client into a short, engaging Instagram caption with a call to action. I've helped several coaches use this method go from silent followers to DMs filled with warm leads. Real stories build way more trust than polished quotes ever will. Now, if you struggle to show up consistently because writing actually drains you, then I suggest that you voice note your thoughts and then just let ChatGPT do the heavy lifting. Now, one of my students, Talisha, was always on the go and never had time to write any posts. So she started sending voice notes into otter.ai and then transcribing them and then just pasting them into ChatGPT with the following prompt. Turn this into a clear, engaging post in my tone. That single habit tripled her output and she actually started enjoying content again. Now, you can see better results if you build a smart system that works 24/7 around your content. I recommend that you use ChatGPT to help you map out a weekly schedule based on your current goals. For example, Monday can be value, Wednesdays can be proof, and Fridays can be a story. Now, when one of my clients, Marlon, applied this strategy, he went from random posting to a consistent rhythm that his audience could actually depend on. Within just 30 days, his engagement actually doubled, and more importantly, he started getting actual sales conversations from his posts. Now, here's the big mindset shift I want you to walk away with. Content is not about showing up everywhere. It's about showing up with intention and in the right places where your audience hangs out online. So if you feel like you're wasting time on Instagram or LinkedIn, then just ask ChatGPT, how can I create content that speaks to, and then just insert your niche. Biggest struggles and builds trust fast. Now, my client Amina did this for her health and coaching business, and she started creating mini posts that felt more like DMs. And just within a few weeks, she had people telling her, it's like you're in my head. That's how you know your messaging is working better. And that's it for today. 6 powerful tips that you can begin implementing right away. Now, if you're ready to take real steps towards building your online business and creating reliable income streams, this is your moment to move forward. Take the next step now. Click the link below in the description or in the comments and go through to my website where you can find some free training resources to help you get started right away. These free step-by-step resources are designed to guide you through launching a successful online business and generating online income streams. So don't wait, take action today. Click the link below and start your journey right now. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really does energize and motivate me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. And if you want to connect on social, you can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and have a wonderful day.